The scene was so gut-wrenching that it is hard to even find the words to describe it. It happened right here in Texas, and it started in a very strange way. A man was filming himself on Facebook, acting erratically and mocking the police online. But behind the screen, and behind the chaos of his public behavior, was a truth far darker than anyone watching realized. This was the same man who, just last year, had shattered his own dog's leg in a sudden fit of anger. Why he did it, no one knows. He never explained it, and he didn't care enough to get the dog help. Ever since that day, the poor dog had been kept captive in a living nightmare. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months of total silence and suffering. The pain was unbearable. In a desperate attempt to stop the hurting, the dog had actually chewed at his own leg. It is horrifying to imagine the level of desperation he must have felt. On top of the injury, fleas were crawling all over his body, biting him constantly while he lay there in the dark. He was terrified, but he didn't run away. Maybe he couldn't run because of his leg, or maybe he just forgot what freedom felt like. For an entire year, he had been cursed at, yelled at, and treated like garbage. He had learned that cruelty was just his normal life. And yet, somewhere inside that broken body, a tiny spark remained. He still held on to life with unbelievable courage. He still hoped that maybe, just maybe, someone would come for him. When a rescuer named Kristen Blizzard from Killeen Animal Services heard about the case, she didn't hesitate. She knew she had to get in there. But the man refused to give up his dog. The police had to wait for him to step outside before they could finally arrest him. When Kristen finally walked into that house, she saw something no rescuer should ever have to see. The dog was lying in a pile of trash, too weak to even lift his head. His leg was completely gone. His breathing was shallow, his eyes were dull, and his spirit was fading fast. They rushed him to the vet, but the situation looked hopeless. The first recommendation from the doctor was euthanasia because he was in such terrible shape. But Kristen and the city of Killeen refused to give up on him. They said, "No, this baby deserves a chance. He deserves a fighting chance." He looked so confused, blinking at the bright lights in the clinic. It was almost as if he couldn't believe he was finally in a place where people were being nice to him. The medical news was scary. His blood count was dangerously low, sitting at only 8%. He was basically running on empty. Emergency blood transfusions began immediately. The team stayed awake through the night, standing side by side with the vets. They watched every drop of blood go in, praying that his heart would keep beating. This boy deserved everything and more. While the medical team fought for his life, his abuser sat in jail. Animal Protection Services filed charges immediately. This was one of the worst abuse cases the team had ever seen. They begged the world to share his story and speak for him. To mark his new life, they gave him a new name, Cyrus. Something magical happened after that. It was as if the new name gave him a new soul. For the first time in so long, he began to feel love. You could see it happen. His eyes lit up. He decided he wanted to live. At the hospital, the team watched him enjoy a midnight snack. It was such a simple thing, just a dog eating a treat, but to them, it was a miracle. And then, the big day came. Cyrus was ready to leave the hospital. They live-streamed his journey home, and people across the country celebrated him. Millions of people were cheering for this little warrior. His foster mom welcomed him into her home with open arms, and her children adored him instantly. He finally had warm, homemade meals and gentle sunbathing time in the backyard. One day, he went shopping with his foster mom. People recognized him immediately and said, "That's the dog from the rescue story." Strangers bought him toys, which he accepted with such sweet gratitude, wagging his tail. Then came the best news of all. A man named Jason Parker heard about Cyrus and offered to build him a custom wheelchair. While waiting for it, Cyrus tried a temporary wheelchair and absolutely loved it. He loved zipping around in his new wheels, playing with puppies, and chewing on bones. Today, during physical therapy, Cyrus stood on his own for a full minute. Just 1 minute. But for the team, it was everything. Every day, he gets stronger. Every day, he inches closer to walking again. He will never hear that cruel voice again. He is not a burden. He is family. Somewhere out there, a forever home is waiting for him. Cyrus proved that even when you lose a leg, you don't have to lose your spirit. If Cyrus's fight for justice touched your heart, please give this video a like.